Unaccustomed as you are.
Unaccustomed, thank you, Richard. Unaccustomed as we are to speaking in public. Nevertheless, Sylvia and I have prepared a few things we'd like to say. And I'll begin by first thanking everybody for coming. We're very appreciative, and especially my wonderful, enterprising, creative children for putting together this party. At my retirement 3 years ago from ABC, I quoted famous football coach Bobby Bowden. He said, "After retirement, there's only one big event." I assumed he meant, well, you know what I assumed. But now I realize he was referring to this party. So, 52 years ago, my mother came home from her office one day. She was administrative assistant to Commissioner Menkes in the New York City Department of Sanitation. And she told me that a young girl had started working in her office, and would I be interested in getting her number. She's a good worker, but a little on the slow side. The reason she was slow is because my mother kept talking to her all day. And she has a few pimples on her chin, but she's otherwise nice looking. For my mother, this was extremely high praise. So I said, oh, okay, I'll call her. And half a century later, here we all are. So as I look around at all the faces here, I think of the time Sylvia and I spent in California. We had a large, beautiful house, and we could see the sun come up over the Santa Monica Mountains, and the roses bloomed 3 times a year, and people smiled at us on the street. But I once said to Sylvia...
Bob!
But,
Can I get a few words in now, or is this all about you?
no, of course, when I'm finished, you can talk all you want, when I'm finished.
You know, it's my anniversary, too.
Of course it is. I hear you, absolutely I hear you, and I'm well aware.
You are? Because that's a first.
Here we go.
No, I really don't think you ever listen when I talk to you. I mean, I can ask you just a very simple, basic thing like, please don't roll your white sweat socks all the way up to your legs, and you completely ignore me.
So I have a quirk about socks. Big deal.
You're full of quirks. You should be called Captain Quirk. Your entire existence is a quirk.
All right. Well, if you really want to talk about quirks, how about you insisting on having the air conditioner and the fan on, even in January and February?
How about you never being able to find anything in the refrigerator, even after I tell you 5 times exactly where it is? If I ever took a week's vacation, you would starve to death.
Because your organization is completely irrational. And speaking of eccentricities, what about you using 3 rolls of toilet paper every day?
What about you licking the ice cream bowl?
What about you returning 10-year-old items to customers?
I have never returned anything older than 7 years old. What about you taking an hour every night to floss your teeth, not to mention getting the pickings all over the mirror?
What about you packing luggage 2 weeks in advance of any trip?
What about you never packing a travel bag in your entire life? Or doing the laundry? Do you even know where the clothes washer is?
I do. I believe it's in the basement, about 10 feet from where we put the ashes of our cat. This was after you insisted that my mother's ashes remain in the garage.
Well, the garage is too cold for my Tootsie.
Okay, now you want to talk about cold? What about you keeping 6 different black winter coats in the front closet?
Yeeks, I think I bought another one and it's now 7. What about your office room looking like a garbage dump? What about you never throwing anything out for the last 50 years? The other day I found Mitchell's bar mitzvah receipt and he's 47.
Me you're talking about? You have makeup from the Reagan administration. You had the nightgown you wore on our honeymoon.
Well, maybe someday it will fit me.
Well, that would be nice. All right, so are we done? Are we done?
Yes, dear. Now, may I speak to the group?
Yes, dear. Would that make you happy?
Yes, dear. You see, yes, dear, two simple words that keep a marriage together, at least for half a century. As for the next half, you'll just have to wait and see. On a more serious note, 50 years seems like yesterday to me, and if I had to do it over again, I think I'll keep this man. Even though the list of quirks I wrote up on him was far longer than those mentioned in our little skit. Here's my list while I was sitting at the doctor's office, and I could go on and on and on, and it only took me 5 minutes. Though I do have to admit that the list was pretty extensive that he had on me, too. To our amazing children and grandchildren, daughter-in-law Tracy, and to Keith, you do so much to brighten our lives each and every day. We are so proud of your incredible talent, love, and devotion. Thank you so much for putting such enormous effort and time into making this a very memorable and fun celebration. Most importantly, each and every one of you who are here today are very special to us, and you all bring so much sunshine to this room as well as our lives, both today and during our 50 years of marriage. Thank you for being here. Have a great time, and I love all of you. Enjoy your evening, everyone.
Ditto.